Mark Rogers TV, always talking college football. We are the voice of college football, talking up the Miami Hurricanes today with, of course, our guy, Alonzo Oliver from 1219, the U Family. Check out his YouTube channel. Just look up the U Family, 1219, Alonzo 1219. And then we also have a guy that appears with him from time to time that he's connected with, and we've recently connected with on Twitter, Kane Shades Unk. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Another blessed day, doing good, talking Miami and football, and glad to have Unc on with us. So, Unc, how's it going, man?
Oh man, we doing good, man. Getting ready for the football season, man. Hey, we're gonna go undefeated this year. I said it. Let's start off.
Oh, you guys are fired up already. So we got about 3 months to go, a little bit more than that, before you guys are going to be looking square at LSU.
Yeah, that's going to be. Oh, go ahead, Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, man. The day after Labor Day. Oh man, we're gonna blow them out.
Blow them out. You just need to win the game by 1. That's all it takes.
Unc is optimistic. He's very optimistic. You gotta look at it. You gotta check his videos out, man. This is what made me start doing videos, because I needed somebody.
Oh man, we're gonna play on a Sunday where the big boys play. We're gonna play on the Sunday where the big boys play, man. LSU ain't ready for us, man. They ain't ready.
All right, you guys are gonna have a new quarterback to deal with on the other side, with LSU picking up Joe Burrow from Ohio State. He has absolutely no track record. I think we're all assuming, of us that cover college football, and I've talked to a few LSU people, the assumption is that he's already won the job. But that's not necessarily the case. He still has to show up at camp and win the job, and he doesn't have any real experience. So some LSU people are a little bit more confident about their chances now that they've signed a quarterback who might finally do something.
Well, like you said, a quarterback who's unproven, a quarterback who hasn't shown anything. So you're confident in an offense that was worse than ours last year with a new quarterback. I mean, hey, I'm more than happy that you're confident. I'm confident in y'all too to throw a quarterback that's unproven out there. So if the fan base is happy about that, I'm happy for them. I'm just hoping that they're confident.
Now they're gonna start a redshirt freshman or a true freshman?
I think he's a transfer. He's
a transfer? Okay. Well, who did he play for?
Transferred from Ohio State, but didn't play there.
Yeah, he never played.
So he's gonna play. So this quarterback that's transferring from Ohio State that never played is going to play us the season opener on Sunday on Labor Day. Oh yeah, oh man.
Well, regardless of who you face, whether he wins the job or not, you're facing an unproven, inexperienced quarterback. They don't have any experience at quarterback. Their kid got drafted to the NFL, Danny Etling, and so we were all expecting Miles Brennan to win the job. There was still a quarterback battle. It wasn't settled, but Miles Brennan was supposed to be the guy. And then Joe Burrow decided that he didn't necessarily think he had a good shot at winning the Ohio State job, so he just transferred about 2 weeks ago. And that's probably the quarterback you're going to face. But I think there's still something to be decided for LSU, so they don't even know.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm not real big on transfers coming in and making an immediate impact. Everybody's not Russell Wilson. You know, you can't leave NC State and go to Wisconsin. Everybody's not going to do that. Plus Russ had 4 years experience at NC State when he went over to Wisconsin. So as a graduate transfer, if he was a graduate transfer, if I was LSU fans, I'd probably have a lot more confidence in him. But with him being basically a no experience transfer who probably like a freshman, and then you have to learn a whole new offense and everything. I wouldn't be as confident as LSU fans are. But hey, we have our own quarterback drama.
Well, those LSU fans, they're just trying to latch on to something positive at quarterback.
Yeah. I think we have something positive at quarterback. It's all about up to Mark Richt to feel the same as I feel. But at LSU, I mean, hey, they survive on their defense. Their offense hasn't been known for the last, 5 or 6 years to put up any points. So I guess any glimmer of hope is what they're wishing for. But you're going against one of the top defenses in the nation. and one of the most explosive defenses in the nation, who's definitely going to come at you and challenge you. So hopefully he's ready. Hopefully he's ready, man.
Mark Rogers TV talking Miami football. We've got Alonzo 1219 on the line. One of our very, very best, one of our most fun and insightful and energetic contributors here at Mark Rogers TV. But we invite you to go over to Alonzo's channel, Alonzo 1219, and subscribe to his YouTube channel right there for the very best in Miami football talk. We also have Kane Shade Unk on the line. We connected recently on Twitter thanks to Alonzo, and he's going to provide his entertaining perspective on what's going on here. Want to invite you also to subscribe here if you're coming across Mark Rogers TV for the first time or you have yet to subscribe, and we will get to the live chat, and the comments and the questions are lining up already. But before I do, you guys jumped on here and you guys were immediately excited about the next season, excited about 2018, and so you lost a little bit of talent, but not a whole lot of talent from that 2017 squad. Yeah, a couple key players here and there, RJ McIntosh in particular, and a few guys. But that stellar linebacking core is back. Alonzo with a little of a smirk mentioned the quarterback coming back. All your playmakers, for the most part, back on offense. You lose a little bit, but Amon Richards hopefully can stay in the field for the entire season. Lorenzo Lingard, it's going to be interesting to see what he can contribute. So we can go on and on with the talent on both sides of the ball, but let's start with the quarterback situation. It sounds like Mark Richt is going to stay with Malik Rozier. That's kind of what it sounds like is in the process of happening.
I'm gonna let Unc discuss.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I think Rozier is the Gino Toretta of his legs. That's what we need right now. You know how Gino Toretta, back in that 91, just throw the ball crazy, and then you have, receivers there. What was I gonna say? Rozier is the Gino Toretta, man. I'm just saying we have the manageable quarterback, and he's ready. My bad about that, Rogers.
And see, me on the other hand, I'm gonna go a different direction. I feel like we've had Rozier, and Rozier's had every opportunity in the world to succeed, and he hasn't. I just feel like, especially in big game situations, down the stretch, he just doesn't seem as if he can hit a target, when they're open, or hit a target and make them be able to run after the catch. I just feel like his accuracy, I feel like he's smart enough. I just don't know if he's accurate enough in order to make the program win. And the one thing that I am afraid of is the locker room element part of it, that if someone is better than someone else and you play that person because you like them more, how does that make the locker room feel? How does it make...
Yeah, but Rozier is surrounded by the right pieces. Like he's surrounded by the right pieces.
He was surrounded by him last year, and he just couldn't. I mean, I just look at games.
He got won 10 games in a row. I'm like, what, 10 games in a row?
Did he win 10 games, or did the team win 10 games?
But he's surrounded by the right pieces. We just need a game manager quarterback. Just like how I'm comparing Rozier to Toretta. Toretta was okay, but he had the right pieces. That's what I meant to say.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Like Toretta was an okay quarterback, but he was surrounded by the right pieces. That's why I'm comparing Rozier.
I just don't think. I don't think he has the talent. Just me personally. But this is what we do. This is why I love because we will agree on certain topics and disagree on topics, and that's what people have to realize when you're a fan of a team or a program. You're not going to always agree on the same thing, and I guarantee it goes on in the court, and it goes on in the coaches' room and everything.
Should finish what he started. I mean, okay, Perry, give Perry another year, under backup, and then let's Rozier finish out his senior year.
I think. Let me try to interpret something you just said and give you my take on it. When you talk about a really, truly good game manager of a quarterback, and if you use that term to the nth degree, we're actually talking about a pretty good player. I know it has a negative connotation, but we're talking about a guy that can't make special plays. We're talking about a guy that's not Michael Vick, either with his legs or his arm. He can't make Drew Brees plays with his arm, and Michael Vick plays with his legs. He's not in...
He can make it with his legs, though. Now, Rozier can now.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. But you called him a game manager. When I think of game manager, a good game manager, not a liability, I'm talking about a good game manager. Actually, LSU just lost a guy like that, and he got drafted into the NFL, and people didn't expect him to be drafted. But the reason he was drafted was he has probably an average NFL arm, and he's got decent mobility, and he's not going to lose the game. Rozier might have lost you one for sure, and maybe a second one. Well, the Pitt game, yeah, I'll give you Pitt and Wisconsin as losses. Clemson, you couldn't do much about. He makes too many mistakes to be a good game managing quarterback for me.
Beat Florida State. Are we talking about the same Rozier that beat Notre Dame? I mean.
Okay, now, what I mean, hear me on this part here. The Florida State game, we should have blew them out because the defense didn't give up no points almost the whole game until the end. I'll take it too, but I feel like the offense. I feel like the offense was inept because of him. I feel like we could have won more games and put more points up, and we won in spite of him, not because of him. That's just my opinion. I feel like we won in spite of him, not because of him. I mean, we got 11 straight wins, and people talk about how bad the offensive line was. So I mean, 10 straight wins, and they talk about how bad the offensive line was. So in that point, the offensive line was good enough to get us that. You know, I just feel like we won it. I feel like we won in spite of him, not because of him. And that's just my opinion on it. But
he was pretty marginal to be kind against Florida State.
First year starting now.
I just watched him throw the ball in the dirt a lot. And this is the debate that Hurricane fans have. We don't, like I said, the quarterback situation in Miami is probably the hottest it's been in a long time, man.
All right, guys.
Quarterback and play calling.
Why don't I take you guys through the chat?
Now check this out, Rogers. True or false? Did Mark Richt play quarterback in college football? True or false?
He was a quarterback on the roster for Miami, if you're making that determination. He played the position. He didn't get on the field.
Now, he knows that position really good.
Sure.
Now, why would he lean towards Rozier? He must know something. He sees something in Rozier.
I will agree. You've paid and highly paid a coach, and if any coach at that level, and even much lower than that, you expect that guy to have, first of all, needs to go out at a place like Miami and recruit 3 or 4 guys that can play, and then determine who's the best guy for my system, who's a real leader. You know, basically, if you're in Miami, you should have about 3 guys that actually have talent, but you're determining then who's the guy that's not going to make mistakes, who's the guy that maybe is a special talent, and who's the guy that's going to be a leader. So we got Alonzo1219 on the line talking Miami football, along with Canes Shades Unk. And we appreciate these guys jumping on Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. I'd like to take you guys through the chat, and you guys jump on whatever comments hit you, okay? So right out of the gate, you're going to get hit with this one. Dylan says, because I titled the conversation, the video, Miami Hurricanes Update, just a generic title there. He says, well, what's the update? LSU found a real quarterback, and you have to add a loss to Miami's season.
Who said that? That's an LSU fan?
That was a fill-in.
A fill-in.
I don't know where he's coming in from.
Hey, Mr. Fill-in. With Miami offense being bad last year, we put up way more points than LSU. And LSU hadn't had any sanctions against them. They haven't had any problems against them. Their offense is just garbage. And they went and found a transfer quarterback who's never played before, who's probably, I'm not gonna say he's garbage, but I mean, I didn't see him as a hot topic going into the offseason and everything.
And also, I'd rather take the quarterback that played in the Orange Bowl or took his team to the Orange Bowl than the quarterback that's never really did nothing. Never
played a snap in college football.
Senior year and whatever, I don't know what about this kid.
He was a solid third stringer at Ohio State.
As a solid third, he wasn't even second string. And LSU was clapping for that. Congratulations, LSU. I appreciate you clapping for that. Now you can finish 8th in the SEC West.
So guys, if you follow my channel here, Dondre is a big Clemson fan, so you're always going to get a dig from the Clemson guys. So I'm just passing it along here.
I'm not worried about it.
Guys might go into as long as you don't play Clemson.
I'm not even gonna argue with Clemson right now because I have no arguments. They've beaten us twice pretty handily the last 2 times they played us. So sometimes my mother always says sometimes when you when you take an L, just take the L and come whenever you win. Talk. So I'm gonna leave Clemson alone.
Well, see, I cope with the L. I dealt with the L. Now it's a new season. We're gonna see them back in the ACC championship game, and we're gonna fucking whip them. I can't curse. I'm sorry. We gonna show them that they some pussy ass Tigers.
All right, so we got NCIS Fanatic 21 here.
I did a video. I did a Clemson video that went viral over there, so I get excited with that.
You're feeling good about taking on Clemson this year?
Yes.
Okay.
In the ACC championship.
So what do you have anything to base that on? Is anything improved on the Miami side or declined on the Clemson side to erase 38-3?
We're gonna see. Well, let's see how the season. See, I'm never going into the season saying I'm gonna lose a game. I'm not that type of fan. I'm gonna say we're gonna win all the games. Now let's see. Let's see how the season goes. And then you get back at me a week before we play them in the ACC championship.
Okay. I appreciate the optimism. When you're a fan, I have no issue with somebody saying
listen now, Mark. My radio show is Cane Shades. I gotta have my Cane Shades on.
What is the definition of fan? I mean, it's short for fanatic, right? You have to have fans that's always optimistic and always, because actually he's the type of fan that's in the stands whether we're winning or losing, you know, and that's what attracted me to his station, is that no matter what, when they were winning or losing, he was in the stands all the time. You know, so
that game where Golden got fired, where we got blown out 50, whatever.
I wasn't gonna say that.
I was there. I was there in the rain. I did not leave that game.
What happened to the tie? What happened to the?
Now remember that tie was rocking now, Alonzo. Remember that?
That's what I was saying. I don't know if you remember, but if you can go back to the Al Golden press conference when he got the last game of the season, when his tie was no longer on his neck.
Who got the tie on?
Oh, Nancy had the tie.
I'm just saying, it's a coincidence.
It's a coincidence that the tie was missing, and then the tie was getting burned. So I'm just saying, it was a coincidence that, you know, the same looking tie, you know.
What is an Izod tie? That's what it said. I don't know if it's the same tie.
But yeah, this is beautiful. He's there at every game, no matter what, win, lose, or draws. He's definitely a fan of the University of Miami, and he does a lot for the community and the kids as well.
Yeah. After the show, I'm gonna tell everyone to go check out my website, GateShadesMedia.com, and we follow recruiting there. I got a couple inside high school reporters that do recruiting.
So I don't necessarily know that this is an accurate statement, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Navy Thomas on the chat line says, just remember that Richt has never recruited a decent quarterback. Time will show you, Miami fans.
He can't say he's never recruited a decent one, because there's one in the NFL right now that plays for the Detroit Lions.
Not bad. He throws for about 5,000 yards a year.
So, I mean, you can't say he's never recruited a decent quarterback. That's a blank, blind, stupid statement, if you don't mind me saying that. That lets you know how sometimes your fandism can get you into dumb comments. And
Aaron Murray was a really good college quarterback. Hasn't worked out for him in the NFL, but
he was also a top recruited. He was a top rated college quarterback as well. And not just that, the quarterback that's in Georgia right now, he was recruited by Mark Richt and ended up staying at Georgia, even though he came to Miami to visit, but he ended up staying at Georgia. But he was recruited by Mark Richt. So let's not say he hasn't recruited a decent quarterback, because that would be a false statement. That would be a very false, inaccurate statement.
We got some folks on here, guys, that are concerned about depth at defensive line. Feel that you lost a lot up front.
We lose a lot every year. You're going to lose every college team, especially when you're good as Miami in the trenches. You're going to lose players every year, but you have to see what's behind before you get concerned about the talent. I think a lot of people look at stars more than they look at anything. So when you decide to constantly look at stars and think that that's all that matters, sometimes you would be concerned with depth. I'm not concerned with depth. I've seen the energy of those guys. I was at the spring game. The defensive line is one of the last of my concerns right now. What do you think?
Oh, okay. I mean, we got what, Ford's gonna be a sophomore?
Yeah.
Okay, we got Ford coming back. We're gonna be all right.
We still got Gerald Willis there. I think we're pretty loaded at defensive line. I'm not concerned about defensive line at all. Plus, it's all about your coaching scheme too, and we have a great defensive coordinator. We have a great defensive coordinator who will make great adjustments, in my opinion. So I'm not concerned about defensive line at all.
You guys happy with your coach? Got a few people on the line that say you're going to be looking for a new head coach in 2 years, if not after this season.
Nah.
I disagree. They gotta be a Georgia fan. They gotta be a Georgia fan.
I disagree with that. Am I happy with everything that Coach Richt is doing? No, I'm not. But am I happy with my coach? I'm most definitely happy with my coach. The only thing
very happy with my coach.
I think the only thing that frustrates me sometimes is the play calling from the sideline. It's just very hard to do, and most college coaches who do it struggle while doing it. I just think that you need to be in a booth in order to call plays accurately in order to see the whole field. But besides that, no, I'm very happy with my coach.
He still got a son in the booth for a long time.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard. To me, it's kind of hard to do the relay. You know, it's kind of hard to relay. I think you need to be up there in order to see exactly. I think it slows down your offense as well. I think you need to be up there. But I mean, I just look at like even when Jimbo Fisher did it in Tallahassee, the only successful year he really had doing it is when Jameis Winston was the quarterback. You know, I just think it's hard to. Well, me even a lot of times the defensive coordinator a lot of time will be in the booth. You know, it's just hard to see the field from the sideline, see both sides of the field. You know, but besides that, Rick will be there for the next 5 years until he decides to retire. He's done a lot for the University of Miami. He's brought a lot of excitement. The new facilities. He's done everything he can do for the University of Miami. So I'm very happy with Rick being that coach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got a number of people on here knocking Mark Richt, other people defending him, and the only thing I'll say is when people state that he couldn't win a big game.
The people are knocking them. Can you find out what their team is? Can you relay that message?
Well, I think some of them are Miami fans. I think most of them are Miami fans.
He's saying a lot of them are Miami fans.
Oh, they're Miami fans?
Most of them, not all of them.
Oh, okay.
But
so that we're here.
You know, to clarify what Mark Richt accomplished at Georgia, he did not win a national championship. That's obvious. We all know that. But he did have a team in 2012 that you basically could say was national championship caliber. If they get an out-of-bounds play at the 4-yard line against Alabama, then they possibly win the national championship. It came down to the final play of the game, and they were definitely one of the 2 best teams in the country. Either one of them would have slaughtered Notre Dame most likely, and Alabama got that chance. And he won a slew of SEC championships. He won 80% of his games. He went to the SEC championship.
I think we're a lot of.
I'm not going to go through all the times, but he did a number of times. And he had a successful run at Georgia. His teams were never less than 9-3, winning 9 to 11 games every year.
I think what a lot of people don't understand, I'm going to equate this to basketball. Michael Jordan stopped a lot of people from getting NBA championships. Nick Saban stopped a lot of coaches from getting college football championships. I mean, when you have to go up against that guy all the time, man, there's always somebody out there that's just great. And Nick Saban is just great at what he does. And most coaches can't beat him. You know, it's hard to beat him. And it just so happened that when Rick was coaching in SEC, he was either going up against Steve Spurrier or Nick Saban, two of the greatest coaches in college football history. So, you know, it's not, you can't feel bad to lose to those 2 guys. It's tough. It's tough sledding against those 2 guys.
Mark, the person that said in the comment section that Rick will be gone in what, 2 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a Hurricane fan that said that?
No, it's not.
Is it? Okay, all right.
The Nebraska fan.
Oh, okay.
See, that ought to tell you right there. I mean, that ought to tell you right there. I mean, tell them to go look at the last national championship they played.
Tell a Nebraska fan that I was on, what was it, 97 won the ticket in Lincoln, and I was on the, 710 in Omaha. Man, I did a video, I trolled the whole Nebraska.
I mean, just Nebraska fans, I mean, Tommy Frazier's not coming back. Tell us who they need to hire as their coach.
That program, I think, is going to come back to a certain extent, but it's going to be difficult for them to reach the elite. Just the recruiting background is not there in Nebraska. They've got to go to Texas and California and Florida to get the best players, and that's a difficult ask. But I think Scott Frost knows what he's doing. They're going to be better.
The Big Ten is stepping up now.
Sure, the Big Ten's a good conference.
Yeah, they'll be that Tulane of the Big Ten.
Nebraska got to compete now.
They'll be the Tulane of the Big Ten.
Huh?
They'll be the Tulane of the Big Ten. I have no love for Nebraska. I mean, that's just you. In order to make a comment, you have actually had to at least win something. No one breaks the door down to if Nebraska comes on at 8 o'clock Eastern, they better be playing against somebody in order for anybody to watch that game.
We beat Nebraska with Golden.
Yep.
We beat them with Golden.
I'm not concerned about Nebraska fans.
All right, talking Miami football here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We've got Alonzo1219 on the line. Always love the conversation with Alonzo. And we also have Kane Shades Unk connected with him on Twitter. Thanks to Alonzo, and they both bring a fresh perspective on Miami football. So we invite you in particular, because Alonzo is constantly supporting me, and he does an amazing job. And what makes this fun as well is we don't have like YouTube channels. So I do my thing. I do it a certain way. Alonzo, you get a breath of fresh air. You get a different perspective. You get the Miami take for sure. And you go to Alonzo's channel at Alonzo1219, the U family, and please subscribe to him right there.
Tell that Nebraska fan that we got he can borrow one of these to wear around Nebraska if he wants to. If he want to have a little bit of swag about himself, tell him he can borrow one of these, man. We'll send him one so he can
What you showing him?
The hurricane chain. My hurricane chain that Michelle made me. Tell him so he can feel have a feeling of what a winter feels like, on his neck. Nebraska. Wow. I don't even know who I give less respect to, Nebraska or Notre Dame. Which one I give
no. Nebraska fans can't even talk right now. They can't talk right now.
So what do you guys think about back to the quarterback situation with Malik Rozier seemingly having a clear edge on keeping the job in 2018? N'Kosi Perry, from everything I've heard, is just a remarkable athlete and can make all the throws. And now with Jaron Williams even on campus, and I understand him maybe taking a year off and sitting back and watching for a year because he's just a freshman. But does this say something about Perry not being able to take the job? Do we expect it to be a battle in August? If you had 2 or 3 warm-up games, maybe you would have time to play both of them the first few games before you would hit somebody like LSU, but you've got an LSU right out of the gate, so a decision kind of has to be made.
From what I heard, Mark, is that he's gonna play both during the LSU game. From what he has packages for both. But just me being honest with you, man, I feel like our ceiling is way higher in N'Kosi Perry. I just feel like I was at the spring game and I watched Malik throw the ball in the dirt 1,000 times, and I just watched Perry light it up. I watched him light it up, and I was just sitting out there like, you have got to be kidding me. This young man is amazing. And I just feel like in order for us to grow as a program, you have to get one of these young guys in there, because me personally, I feel as if N'Kosi doesn't get it, and this is just me personally thinking, and maybe I should be feeling this way, that he's not going to stay, because you already have a guy in Jaron Williams who's hot on his tail as of right now. And I just feel like redshirting a quarterback is not the thing to do anymore. You can't redshirt a quarterback because 2 years out of them they're leaving anyway, especially if they're good enough. I just feel as if I feel like I say watching the spring game and watching what I saw, I just feel like N'Kosi was way more explosive, way more accurate. Got the ball to every playmaker, got the ball downfield through short passes, through passes where receivers can catch the ball and run with it. And I just hadn't seen that from Malik even all last year. I've seen glimpses of Malik having good games, but I just feel like the reason why the turnover chain got so popular is everything to our defense. I remember a game where we turned the ball over like 5 times. It ended up with like 3 points out of it. You know, as we won that game. But when you get 5 turnovers and you only get 3 points out of it, how do you do that? Especially when 3 of the times was on the other side of the 50, where you could have to go 45 yards to get 20 yards to get 3 points. We only got 3 points out of 5 turnovers. Those things are just, it's like, how do we? Those are the things that I see. I just don't feel like Malik is the guy. Now, on the other hand,
I do. I like the experience. I'd rather go. Rozier got a year in. When he took it, to help take the team to the Orange Bowl. Let him go now. One more year.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm looking at is, like I say, when we we were last in points off of turnovers in college football this year, but we were first in turnovers. We were last in points off of turnovers, but we were first in turnovers. How do you be last in points off of turnovers, but first in turnovers? Those are the things that I look at. I look at how many wide open wide receivers he missed, even in the spring game. I forgot who that was. It might have been Langham. Got wide open with not a DB within 10 yards of him. And he overthrew him. And it was only like a 15-yard pass. And it's just those things I've seen all last year. And it was just I don't have any hair on the top of my head now.
So you're seeing something that Rick's not seeing now.
I believe it's something. I believe that Rick is. I don't know if Rick is going with Rozier.
What do you think it is?
I don't know if Rick is going with Rozier, or I don't know if he's favoring Rozier. I know at the end of the Clemson game last year, Rozier kind of blamed other players, and I felt like that wasn't a leadership move as well. I don't know what.
What do you blame?
I mean, he didn't blame single out players, but it was just like, he was saying these players could have did better, they could have did that better, and I'm like, you could have did a lot better. And I'm type person.
I didn't catch that.
I did. It was on an interview. It was on one of the last interviews of the season.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm the type of person that, as a leader, you put all of that on your shoulders. And then in the locker room you might do it, but out in public you put it all on your shoulders. And I'm not saying Malik's a bad guy. I'm just going by what my eye test and what I saw last year. I didn't see him put the team on his shoulders not one time last year and win a game for us. I didn't see it. I seen him make a few plays.
Okay. Let's turn on the History Channel just for a little bit, okay? How would have did it if Kaya would have came back and seen you? You think he would have better results than Rozier? I felt like if Rick wouldn't have went to a read option offense compared to the spread that Kaya played in under Coley, I believe that Kaya would have had a better year the year that he left. I felt the read option destroyed Kaya's career. And what Kaya did if he had to run the ball though?
No,
he had some trouble there running now.
He's not a running quarterback. You can't make Peyton Manning a running quarterback. He's not a running quarterback.
I know that Rozier's the guy that'll go. Rozier went ahead and did what Kaya couldn't do.
But he shouldn't have changed the offense.
How many times you seen Kaya? Like, come on, run.
He's not that.
Got those yards for us.
How many times? But what I'm saying is he switched to a read option offense. And the spread offense, Kaya, the year before Rick got there, the year before Mark Richt got there, Kaya was considered a Heisman Trophy candidate and a first-round draft pick, right? In his sophomore year, he was considered a Heisman Trophy quarterback and a first-round draft pick, right? Because he was running the spread offense. There was in a shotgun spread. He never ran the ball. He threw for over 500 yards against Tallahassee in Doak Campbell. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't have. That's not who he was. Then you put him into a read option offense, which is designed for running quarterbacks. He's not a running quarterback. So why would you even put him in an offense that's designed for running quarterbacks? That's a mistake. That's something you don't do. You keep him in the spread.
What I'm saying is just overall, man, he won't get that 1 yard that Rozier will make that 1 yard.
Yeah, but he also won't throw the ball.
What offense he's in?
He won't throw the ball in the dirt neither. He doesn't throw the ball in the dirt neither. He's way more accurate. You look at it. He broke so many records in his first year.
Kaya take that sack. Rozier won't take that sack.
Kaya didn't take that sack his first year. He took it that second year.
Come on now.
He didn't take that sack.
His true freshman year, he didn't take that sack.
He didn't take losses like that. But every quarterback.
We got a Nebraska fan listening, so I don't want to.
No, I'm fine with the debate.
Let's get off the History Channel.
I'm fine with the debate.
His first game, man, he was rattled.
He was a freshman.
Rattled the first game.
He was a freshman though. He was supposed to be.
His first year,
he broke.
He didn't get rattled his first year.
No, I didn't say he didn't get rattled. I said what I said was he didn't take those type. He didn't take the sacks he took his second year. He didn't take those type of sacks. He didn't. He was in a totally different offense. I mean, he broke almost every freshman record that we had. He broke a lot of passing records.
I'm not saying nothing about Kai, like bad about him. But I'm saying is, man, people overlook the fact that this guy took us to the Orange. But this guy, man,
the defense took us there. Our defense took us there. I'll tell you what. Prime example.
Rozier there? Just sitting back there. That Rozier didn't do nothing.
I didn't say he didn't do nothing, but he didn't do a lot.
Oh, he did a lot.
Think about it. When Mark Richt took over the program, the debate was our defense is not going to be good, but our offense is going to be great. That did a totally 360. The defense was great and the offense wasn't that good. It did a total 360.
But he did his part though.
Huh?
I mean, how many times?
I think it's part of changing. I think it's part of changing the offense. I think it's part of changing the offense, and that's really it. I think it's more changing the offense than anything. I felt like we shouldn't have changed our offense the way we did, you know. And to be honest with you, like I said about if you go look at my first video that I did about Malik, I was comparing him to Russell Wilson. I was hoping that would be the case, and it turned out not being the case. It just turned out even in the Florida State game, even though he threw that pass to Langham and Langham caught it, that was more of a heck of a catch by Langham. But the whole game, we sputtered. The offense sputtered. The defense got off the ball plenty of times to score touchdowns, even field goals, and we could not move the ball. The offense would not go. It wouldn't move against Florida State. And then you look at other teams plays Florida State, they scored 70 points on them.
Okay, now listen now. Cager didn't play last year. True or false? Like, I mean, he didn't play.
We still have more talent than most teams in that played against Florida State.
What I'm saying is Rozier was missing weapons.
We have more weapons than most teams in our division, and other teams still put more points up against and we have way more weapons against Wisconsin and way more weapons against Pitt. We could have missed 5 offensive players and still had more weapons than Pitt had. Their quarterback looked like a world beater.
That was his second start ever.
Let him finish his senior year.
I'm not agreeing with it. I want him to be benched. I'm just being honest with you.
But I mean, you think Perry? I mean, come on.
Yes, I do.
You think Perry do a better job?
Yes, sir. 100%. Yes, I do.
Kane Shades, go back and watch the Pitt game and understand that kid just got the job the week before. He had never played before. Man, I'm not coming up with the right name right now. Cody Pickett, I believe is his name. Pickett's his last name. And he made the throws and he was mobile and didn't make mistakes and didn't throw it to the other team and played a really good game against a much better defense than Rozier was playing Pitt. A much better defense. He was playing a top 10 defense. Pickett was at Pitt. Rozier was playing a top 50 or 60 defense.
So what are you talking? You're talking about the last game of the season?
I'm talking about
the Pitt game, the game before the last game, I think.
I'm sorry, yeah, this is the last regular season of the game when we went to Pitt.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you trying to say, Mark?
I'm saying basically that Pitt was playing a quarterback with basically no experience. He came into the game before that was his first playing time. That was his first start against Miami. He's playing one of the 10 best defenses in the country and playing really well. He didn't knock the lights out, but he played well, didn't make mistakes. He was mobile. He was making the throws. Rozier was playing like a top 50 or 60 defense, not even close to Miami's caliber defense, and he couldn't get the job done.
Unfortunately, that Pittsburgh quarterback, his first game was in Miami, like Virginia Tech, and you know what I mean. Like, okay, he beat us, but what I'm saying is Rozier overall, come on, 9-10 games.
You keep saying Rozier 9-10 games. I'm gonna keep saying defense 9-10 games. I really don't feel like Rozier contributed in most of them games, man.
I do.
I'm telling you.
So we're forgetting about this Rozier just roll out and just get 15, 20, 30 yards. We're forgetting about all that.
No, I'm not forgetting about that. What I'm saying is with Koski Perry, we will grow more. What I'm saying with Perry is Perry will get those same yards, but more. And not just that, he'll put the ball on more accurate. He'll be able to do. He's more athletic. He has a stronger arm. I just feel like we'll have an opportunity to grow more with Perry than we will with. I believe that Malik Rozier has reached his ceiling. I believe Perry hasn't even touched it.
Well, right now, Rick's going with Rozier. You know, anything can happen in the season. We don't know if Rick will switch it up. But right now, hey, I trust Rick, and let's see what happens.
So my question for both of you guys, but especially Zoe, since we've talked about it a number of times, and I'll throw it out this way, is that the only conclusion I can come to, if N'Kosi Perry's a more dynamic, talented quarterback with a higher ceiling than Malik Rozier, Rozier's played, and I'm gonna shade toward Kane's shade a little bit in regards to, I don't want to completely diss Rozier's performance last year. He did a lot of good things. He threw for 3,000 yards. He provides that mobility that Kaya didn't, all those things, but it's a different offense, as Zoe talked about. But the conclusion I come to is that if Richt is completely fair with his analysis of this situation, the only thing that Perry can't be bringing to the table right now is that he's not grasping the offense. Otherwise, he's a better, more talented quarterback, can make better throws.
That I agree.
So that has to be the conclusion, is that Richt is seeing in practice that he doesn't grasp the offense. He's not making the right decisions.
He's overall more skilled than Rozier.
If he's not grasping the offense, it's hard to grasp it from the sidelines. You know, sometimes you have to let them play. Sometimes you have to let them play. What gets me upset about the whole situation is that N'Kosi had decommitted and was going to go to somewhere and was going to go somewhere else. And Rick went to his house and convinced him to come back. We got you, come back. And now it's like, are we forgetting? Like I said, I'm all going for who's the better talent. And I'm taking talent 9 times out of 10 over anything when it comes to sports. And that's why I'm taking Perry. And to be honest with you, and I like Perry, but to be honest with you, if Jarren Williams played better, I would take where I want to win ball games.
Yeah.
I want to win, and I just don't feel like Malik gives us the best opportunity to win. I would rather take a step back to go forward than stay level. You have to take steps back in life. There is no way. There is no. So you're telling me you would rather stay where we are now? Every college team. You name me one great college team. Name me one great, because you cut me off as soon as I was saying what I was saying. Name me one great college team that doesn't lose great players that take a step back by playing freshmen to take a step forward. You have to do that in college football. You have to do that. And we're not moving forward with Malik. We took steps back. What was our last two finishes? Against Pitt? Against Pitt, Wisconsin, and Pitt, Wisconsin, and Clemson. What was the last the scores that our offense put up?
Yeah. Well, I'd rather not take that gamble because I'd rather go with the guy that I know than the guy I don't know. So you know that we scored 3 points against Clemson.
Oh.
You know, I smashed against Pitt, and you know we got smashed against Wisconsin on the offense side of the ball.
I know we won 9. I don't know. Matter of fact,
well, we have not won those games with anybody quarterbacking.
Let me finish now, Alonzo. I believe Rozier before the Pittsburgh game was 12-0, 11-0, or 12-0 as a starter, because he had that game the year before was that the miracle game or whatever. So
you keep saying Rozier being 12-0 is not a team. Is it not a team? Because our defense was great. Our defense averaged like 5 turnovers a game for like 6 straight games. Any team should win when your defense is getting like 5 turnovers a game for 6 straight games. We broke a record doing that. Any team should win games when your defense is doing that. I mean, could you imagine back in the days when we had Ken Dorsey at quarterback and we would have had 5 turnovers a game and we would have gave Ken Dorsey the ball 5 extra possessions a game?
But we did have about that.
What I'm saying, they broke a record.
We did have about
No, this team broke a record doing it for how many straight games?
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So could you imagine giving Ken Dorsey?
I think Dorsey had a better defense now.
Huh?
I think Dorsey had a better defense than Rozier now.
I'm not saying he did or didn't. I'm just saying record-wise, we scored. They had like 5 straight turnovers, 5 turnovers for 5-6 straight games, and we still didn't put points on the board. We didn't put. We were number 1 in turnovers and dead last in NCAA in points off of turnovers. That has to be put on the quarterback. It has to be. When you,
I think Rozier is surrounded by the right talent, just like Gino. I'm not saying Gino Trotter was horrible. He was a Heisman quarterback. What I'm saying is, you got the right pieces around you. It's gonna make you better.
It didn't make him better last year, though.
Yes, it did.
It did.
10, 11 games straight.
The defense won those games.
So he's Joe Jerkoff out there just winning games. Like,
the defense won those games. The defense won those games, in my opinion. Just like the Chicago Bears when they won the Super Bowl, the defense won that. The defense was what won that game for sure.
McMahon had to do. He did something.
McMahon did a little bit. McMahon did a tiny little bit.
McMahon did a little something.
They gave the ball to the refrigerator. He gave the ball to the refrigerator and Walter Payton. That's what he did. He handed the ball off. Now, if Malik can hand the ball off good, I'm good.
But see, now, listen what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen what you said. Okay, but is McMahon a Super Bowl quarterback?
He is. In the time.
Okay.
In the time.
So you don't want Rozier to be a national championship champion?
You have to score points. You have to score points in order to win in football now. That's why Nick Saban changed his whole scheme, because defense just don't win no more. You have to be able to score points now. And that's the problem. We can't score points. And when you can't score points, you can't win. Your defense can't win you national championships no more. Just like in a Super Bowl, your defense just can't win you Super Bowls. You have to be able to score points. And when you can't score points, you're not going to win games. It's just a different game, man.
Well, we got Cager coming back. I mean, he's gonna.
I love Cager.
What I'm saying, Mark Richt was injured. You got Cager going on. There was a lot of. There was a lot of issues there. I mean, you can't just blame everything on Rozier.
I can't
just blame everything on Rozier.
I am. I'm sorry.
I won't. You just can't put everything out on Rozier, man.
I am. I'm putting everything on.
So you're saying Rozier's the bad apple? Take the bad apple out.
I'm saying Rozier's not. I'm saying Rozier's not accurate enough to be a championship quarterback.
Mark Richt's pulling the golden.
No, I'm saying he's not.
Now Rick don't want to get rid of Rozier.
Hey, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Rozier is not accurate enough to win a championship. And believe me, if he proves me wrong, I'll be the first person to say, "Hey, man, I was 1,000% wrong."
We're gonna have to do a little bit here. We're gonna have to do something.
What you want to do?
We're gonna have to talk. We'll come back on this Mark Rogers show. We'll let them know what the bet is. But we're gonna have to come up with something.
I'm good with that. I'm good. That's my brother.
Come up with something with this one.
What do you guys like about this Miami team so much? What players are you excited to see this year? Who really stands out? Who are you excited to see? And especially considering Kane Shades, I know you go to all the games. I don't know what if you eyed spring practice, but I know Zoe was down there and did a little post game after the spring game. Got to see maybe some younger players. So who are you guys excited about?
And I'm excited about Lingard. I love Homer. I'm excited to see what Lingard can do in the back. He hit the nail on the head. I'm excited to see what Lingard can do in the backfield with Homer, because Homer's a beast. Dallas is to me. I called him. Remember last year I said he's going to be our starting running back, and people thought I was crazy. He is a Swiss Army knife. He naming everything I'm thinking about.
The one issue I had with the Orange Bowl game planning was you guys punched Wisconsin in the mouth on both sides of the ball. You guys were by far the better team. Even though you didn't separate on the scoreboard, you were the better team for the first quarter. You know, they were having all sorts of issues along the offensive line, blocking your front seven. Defensively, you guys were gashing them. There was a drive where DJ Dallas got the ball 2 or 3 or 4 consecutive times. They didn't stop him, and you guys went completely away from that. And we didn't see him for a long time, and I didn't understand why.
Me neither. I felt like at the end of last year, our defense was tired because they were on the field so much last year. I felt that our defense was tired at the end of last year. What happened in the Wisconsin game, to this idea to this day, you probably can't ask no Miami Hurricane fan what in the world happened. They can give you an answer because I saw it just like you saw it. I'm like, what the freak is going on? What happened? Did the UFO come up here and just take out? What happened? Did somebody mysteriously take our game planning book and we lost it, so we was drawn in the dirt? I have no idea what happened. I just know that we were a better team and we gave that game away, and there was no reason for us to even. It shouldn't even been a competitive game. We should have blew them out, in my opinion. And we got. I'm serious. I feel like talent wise, from front, the only thing they out talented us in was the offensive line.
You're definitely a faster, more explosive team. I don't know a better team.
I think Pittsburgh might have exposed a little something with Rozier, you know, and I think that the Hurricanes didn't recover from that big game. That's what it was. And
I will give it to Wisconsin. Those big physical receivers, they outmanned us. They have big physical receivers. They weren't faster. I'm not gonna say they weren't stronger. They weren't faster and they weren't more athletic, but they outmanned us. When they threw the ball up, they came down with the ball. So they out physical us.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
I'm sorry. I just felt like they out physical our DBs, and that changed the whole game. When they realized okay, well.
Yeah, no, I'm really saying, man, it's the Pittsburgh hangover. This happened to us in like years now with the Florida State hangover. We lose to Florida State, and after that, boom. You know what I'm saying? I just think, man, it was just never got to recover off of that Florida. And plus, I think that defenses figured out Rozier. You know, they made Rozier throw.
And that's another thing. I feel like that's another thing that gets me upset about Rozier is I feel like the defensive backs. They play up on receivers, feeling that Rozier can't beat them deep, and they also play tight on receivers because they feel like Malik can't put the ball, even if they get a little separation, he can't put the ball where it needs to be with that little bit of separation. So they overplay the receivers a lot, you know, because they feel like he's not an accurate enough quarterback to make them pay for overplaying the receivers. So it's too much fighting. So.
Well, let's go back to the defense real quick. Now, imagine this. We got Shaq Quarterman and we got Pickney coming back for their junior year. I think that's a scary. I mean, these are linebackers that were wilding out in their true freshman year. They're going to come back bigger and
they're going to be dominant. They're going to be dominant.
Man, man.
This defense is going to be very, very, very scary.
Very scary.
This defense is going to be very scary. And offense can be scary as well. We have a lot of talent. And what you said about Homer, I love Homer. That's why I didn't mention him. The reason why I mentioned Lingard is because when Homer punishes you, you have another running back that's going to come in there and punish you. I'm excited about George. I'm excited about Willis George at fullback. I'm excited about how physical Miami offense may be this year with the speed and the talent that we have on the outside with those two freshman tight ends that's coming in. I just feel like they're going to be a very, very physical offense. And I would love to see – and that's another thing I think we missed last year was getting the ball in the seam to the tight ends or getting the ball just in slant plays. I felt like we either went deep or short, and we didn't utilize the tight ends enough. I feel like this year we're going to do that. I'm very excited about the team this year. I feel like they're going to be a better team. I'm on the verge of undefeated. I'm not 100% sure about it. But I just feel like it's going to be a more physical, dominant team this year.
What team are you concerned about? You got any concerns?
I'm concerned about almost every team just because it's football. You know, just because it's football.
So you're concerned about?
Well, not the Division II team. I'm definitely concerned about Florida State because it's Florida State. You know, they can be 0-12 and lose 100 players, and we can be the same way. And it's going to go to the end. You already know that. That's how we play each other.
Okay, so what do you think the record? You know me. I'm gonna say undefeated.
I don't know.
What would you say the record is? And if we don't go undefeated, who's the team that we're gonna lose to?
11-1, 10-2. I think that we have.
Who we lose to?
I think we have a. I'm not gonna say we lose to. I just say we have a potential to lose two games.
We'll drop a game somewhere down the line. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I feel like there's. I feel like I said, when we play Florida State, it's always a toss-up game. It's always a toss-up game we play them. I just feel like I say, I have to see exactly what our quarterback play is this year in order for me to go. And we can definitely lose the first game of the season in LSU, because that's an LSU game. I don't care if it says in Houston, Texas. That's not a neutral site game. It's an LSU game. That's a toss-up game because it's the first game of the season for both teams. So we don't know what to expect out of our own team. Let them know what to expect out of LSU. You know, so those are the two scary games that I got on the calendar right now. Is probably LSU and Florida State. Now I feel like if we play LSU on week 5, we have a better chance of demolishing them. But week 1, I don't know what they look like, and I don't know what we look like. You know,
I ain't worried about what are you talking about as far as LSU? I ain't worried about that.
Yeah, but I just don't know what we look like, and I don't know what they look like. I have no idea what we look like right now. You know, I don't know what we look like.
You see the spring game. You know what they look like. You know.
I'm saying you seen the spring game. The way it looked is, if Perry start, we'll win by 40 points. It looked like the way Rozier played in the spring game, we would get demolished. And you seen the spring game, you know what I'm talking about. He looked very bad in the spring game. He did not look good at all in spring. Not saying he didn't look good at all in spring practices. In that spring game, he looked terrible. Jaron Williams looked bad in the first couple drives, and then he got lights out after that. Goodness gracious, that boy good.
Roger, so Roger, I didn't get what your college team is, Roger.
My college team. So I'm an Ohio State fan, but here at Mark Rogers TV, we talk all of college football, and we bring on bloggers, broadcasters, writers from every team. I give you straight ahead analysis. My aim is kind of the opposite of yours. I'm not a banner carrier. I talk all of college football, and I try to hit it as straight, dead on, neutral, and analytical as possible. I even said Ohio State should not have made the playoff 2 years ago. Penn State should have made the playoff, not Ohio State, for example.
Well, see, as far as me, with Kane Shades Media, I run a website that covers Miami Hurricane sports. See, me, I'm more of a, you know, I used to do a show along with Tell You the Kane Shades Radio where we interview maybe 85% of the swag 16 class, but my role was I'm more comic relief. I mean, you hit me up, so you know, I went ahead and did your show, but I could always find someone, an X and O's kind of guy, you know, the rep Kane Shades a little bit better than me. I'm just a hype man. I'm Flavor Flav over here.
Good stuff. Love it.
But see, I think he's downplaying.
Rogers, go tell your audience to check out CaneShadesMedia.com. I know some Hurricane fans, but tell them to go check that out.
I think Unc be a little too modest sometimes. He's he got me into doing this, and off behind the scenes, he's a manager behind the scenes. He'll let you know the way to talk and the way to present yourself and how the industry is, and he downplays. He understands.
Rogers, you just hit up the comic guy. I could have got someone else. That's why I set up. Bring Alonzo on here. You know, I've done interviews before. Like I said, I was on Nebraska radio. See, what I did before I did Kane Shades Radio, I would do these hype videos where I take off my shirt and scream, run around with my Kane Shades. My videos will go viral, and then
he would get 50,000.
Let me tell Rogers real quick. I connected with my nephew and I connected with Bo. Bo was really the foundation of Kane Shades, the one that actually came up with the whole idea of interviewing recruits. See, when we were interviewing recruits in 2015, no one was really doing that. No one was giving free content as far as South Florida, as far as, you know, you had to go to these pay sites and stuff like that. And what we were doing is we were giving high school interviews right there. You go listen to us. And then, you know, the other website came out. That's a whole another story there. But we were first to do it besides Blue Stinger.
So I need you to get on here once in a while and take off your shirt and scream and go crazy and give me about 100,000 views. What I need.
I'll get you amped up.
Don't you do it, Mark. He gonna change the game for you.
Be careful what you ask for now. You got me on whatever. I come back again now.
He gonna change the game for you.
I'll take a game changer.
I just got a gift.
I'm the game manager at quarterback. I need a game changer.
I just got a gift that just came in. So I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna send Unc a picture of it, but it just came in today. As I was talking, my daughter just handed it to me. The mailman just brought it. So for all the Hurricane fans out there in the world, this one just got here. You see that?
Woo! Purdy.
The Chucky U chain, the Chucky chain.
Oh man!
Just got it. It just came in. My daughter just brought. You can see the box. You see the UPS box. It just got here just now, and this is a nice. This is nice. I like this. Might get Mark Rogers one to hang on the back of the wall so we can do our interviews.
Oh man, yeah! Every time
You
come
might
on,
need to change up the logo on the end of that thing, but that's a pretty chain. The chain's looking real nice.
Yeah, she makes these for me, and she does an excellent job of making these for me.
That's beautiful. With so many Miami fans on this chat all the time, I need to get you guys on here and get Zoa maybe throwing out some merchandise we can sell. That's how I'm going to make some money off this deal.
Yeah. Hey, she does a great job of making these. She does it for every college football team. Though. She does it for every college team and every NFL team. So she does it great. Her name is Michelle. She does. I can't pronounce her last name. She's Italian and Spax. I can't pronounce her last name. I still don't know how to pronounce her last name. But she's on my Facebook
about scheduling. Do you guys care who Miami schedules?
No, I want us to schedule. I'm not afraid to play anybody in the country. I want us to schedule Alabama.
So yeah, LSU this year.
I'm not afraid of anybody in the country.
So we got a shameless plug here. I dissect these schedules all the time, so I've got an ACC rundown on future schedules. I've looked at every schedule. I'm going to rank every schedule. I do it every year. What I'm looking at right here is obviously the big game this year is LSU. You guys got Florida next year in Orlando. I know you guys are chomping at the bit there to get after the Gators, or maybe they're chomping at the bit. That would.
Florida is so afraid to do a home and home. They are so afraid to do a home and home.
Hey, Rogers, can you do something first? Can you read off the schedule, and then you can ask Alonzo and you can ask me if we get that game or not?
Okay, your reaction to each year's schedule. 2018 non-conference games. Let's forget the ACC because Miami can't control that. Basically, you play everyone in your division. You play Florida State, as you guys know, and then you rotate against the other teams in the Atlantic, and I believe you've got Boston College this year. So aside from the ACC, these are the non-conference games. 2018, LSU, obviously neutral site, Savannah State, at Toledo, Florida International.
I think we win all of them. I'm afraid of the first one. And Toledo did give us hell last year in Miami.
You're afraid of the first one,
huh?
You're afraid of the first one.
Yeah, I'm afraid of the first one just because No, you said you talking about LSU, right?
2018, LSU, Savannah State, Toledo, FIU.
Yeah, the LSU one, I'm afraid of us in that game, not LSU. I don't know. Like I say, it's like you going into a blind fight. You know, you don't know what the other team look like, but you don't know what yourself look like. So to me, those games are the most potential. When you don't have a warm up game, those are the games that's the most potential that you have the most potential to have trouble with, especially when you're going against another powerhouse program. So besides that, nah, we'll win every other of them games. But the only one that has any concern is the LSU game, just because no one knows how either team looks, not even your own team.
So this is
a fan perspective. Guys. I don't know how we look.
Interesting because in 2019 you still have two slots to fill. You've got Florida, neutral site, Orlando, and you've got Central Michigan at home. You got two other games to fill out for 2019. That's only next season.
We might be looking to get I think it was actually a big rumor about us playing Alabama within the next couple of years. So maybe they're still trying to work that Alabama thing out because it was definitely. I want to play Alabama.
You are playing Alabama.
I want to play Alabama.
2021.
I like to play. Yeah, I want to play Alabama. You said we play them in 2021.
2021 in Atlanta.
Yeah, I would like to play them in 2019.
Okay, you got
I'm tired of these neutral site games too. I swear to you, I don't know where they come up with these neutral site games, but these are not neutral site games for Miami. They're not. You have a neutral site game against LSU that's in Texas. How's that neutral site? Then we have another neutral site game against Florida that's in Orlando. That's not neutral site. We got to drive 3.5 hours. They only drive 45 minutes. Then we got a neutral site game against Alabama in Atlanta. That's an 8-9 hour drive, 10-hour drive for Miami fans. But it's a hour and a half, 2-hour drive for Atlanta. I hate those neutral site games because those neutral site games are not neutral site games. Those games are home games for the teams that's a lot closer.
There's gonna be fans out there in Texas.
You're not hearing what I'm saying, though. You're not understand what I'm saying. It's a huge. How long will it take people from LSU to get to Texas? Nowhere near as long.
What I'm saying is, what I'm hearing is going to be a big turnout.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, but it's not a neutral site game. It's more of a LSU site game than it is a neutral site game because LSU is way closer, and that's what I mean. Neutral site game would be half and half. That would be neutral site. It would be to have the distance for each team to travel. That's neutral. It's half the difference, not further distance. Why not just do home and home? What's up with these neutral sites? It's stupid to me. Do home and homes.
Country Boy on the chat line says, ease up, Zoe. We ain't ready for Bama.
I didn't say we were ready or not ready. I said I want to play them. How do you know if you're ready if you don't play them?
I want to play them too.
How do you know you're ready if you don't play them? How do you know if you're ready if you don't play them? When do you know you're ready? When do you know you're ready if you don't play them? And if you do play them and you do lose, you know how close you are. But if you win, you shock the world, right? Stop being afraid.
If you've gone to the ACC championship game last year, you wouldn't know how much ground you need to make up against Clemson.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say that too, Mark.
Exactly. We know that
there was no avoiding playing Clemson.
No hurt at all. We got blew out. So what? Now we know exactly what we need to do to get better. We know some people might have thought we were closer than what we were.
And I think you are.
So, I mean, we know the adjustments we need to make. To be honest with you, if Rozier would have hit that first pass for that touchdown, I believe that would have been a totally different ball game.
Yeah, so if Miami and Clemson get together 10 times, I think we all know as reasonable college football fans that watch the games and understand it, that Clemson's not going to win that game by 35 points over and over and over and over. Clemson was about a 2-touchdown better team. They would win most of the time against Miami by 10 to 14 points.
Exactly. But I really believe that first play of the game, when he had Jeff Thomas wide open down in the middle of the field, and he missed that play, I think that took the fight out of him. I think that took the fight out of the team.
Brad Kyle would have hit that pass.
I believe he would have hit the pass. Goodness gracious. But, I mean, we know where we need to go now. Why would you not want to play Alabama? You have to realize playing Alabama not only gets you closer to beating Alabama, but it brings recruits to that game to where they say, okay, we're going to be the ones that beat Alabama. You know? So, no, I'm not afraid of no team in the country. I'm loving the LSU game.
Okay, guys, in 2020, you have one slot to fill. You've got one non-conference game to fill. The other three, Temple, UAB, interesting game here, at Michigan State.
That's a tough one, too. You see Miami going to Michigan State. They're not doing neutral site, right?
But they're playing twice, so they're going to play Michigan State in Miami the next year. They're going home and home. That's
what I'm saying. You understand? That's fair. I love that. We could throw Ohio State in that one since we're already playing one big team. We can throw Ohio State in there.
Well, you're up there.
I'm serious. I would love to do a home and home with Ohio State in that same season to be able to play Ohio State and Michigan State. That would be beautiful to me because it'll be ACC against Big 12, Big 10, ACC against Big 10, and 2 home and homes. I would love that. I would love that. That would be smash mouth football. I think it'll get a lot of ratings as well.
Okay, you guys, hear me out for a second here.
I'm definitely not scared of no Big 10. I know Wisconsin got us, but definitely not scared though.
Okay, you guys, hear me out for just a second here. I'm analyzing these schedules. I think Zoe's got a beat on what I do day to day, that I'm just going nuts with schedules and analytics and all this stuff. And when it comes to scheduling, I respect the teams that not only schedule one Power 5 because they've got 4 non-conference games and they're scheduling 3 cupcakes and 1 Power 5, but now we've got teams like, especially USC's always done this because they always play Notre Dame and then they'll add on a Texas or somebody like that where they're playing 2 difficult games. Miami's doing this in 2021. I love this. Alabama, neutral site, Appalachian State, Michigan State, FIU. So in one season, Alabama, and Michigan State for Miami. That's a schedule.
Wow.
You know why we did that, though? That's the year we're going to win that championship again.
If you guys drop one of those games and still look good, the College Football Playoff Committee will give you a break. They'll be like, okay, they scheduled hard and they played well.
It's the spirit of competition.
Mark, they would have gave us a break if we would have beat Pittsburgh, man. If we would have beat Pittsburgh, they would have somewhat, and we would have lost to Clemson. They might have put us in that playoff mix. What do you think about that, Alonzo? That Pittsburgh thing really messed us up, man.
They hurt us bad.
Yeah.
That Pittsburgh loss hurt us bad. It really did. And it took.
If we would have dropped, I don't know, losing to Clemson that bad, would have, I don't know.
No, losing Clemson that bad wouldn't have got us in. But if it would have been a closer game, we would have lost by 7 points and beat Pitt, we would have been in the playoffs. We would have been in the playoffs. Yeah. People was already talking about that. People was already talking about if Miami wins out and lose or close to Clemson, they're probably more likely going to have a fast track to the playoffs. I'm going to have to cut this a little short, though, Mark.
All right, guys.
I have something to happen.
Absolutely.
Mark, hey, everybody who listens to this, man, appreciate my big brother coming on here, man, and showing out with me. Mark, hey, all the love in the world. I keep telling everybody, man, he pushing this to another level, y'all. He's an Ohio State fan, but like he said, he's not doing this for a team. He's pushing all of us. So anybody who's watching and paying attention to Mark, man, he's going to blow up, man. God got big things for him, man. He's helping us out a lot, man. So I definitely appreciate everything you do, Mark.
Thank you, Zoe.
KingShadesMedia.com. Let them know.
KingShadesMedia.com. Y'all go and please go flood Unc Nasty YouTube channel. He said he's not gonna do it again. He's trying. He don't want to really get out there again. Go to King.
Real quick. I didn't drop a video last year because I figured sometimes when I do the videos it jinx me, and we won like 10 or 11 because I didn't do a video. So I didn't do. So I don't know if I should do a video again this year.
Go flood his channel. Go flood his channel. Whatever. Go flood. I don't want to hear that. Go flood his channel. We miss him. Go flood his channel.
Now, y'all go check out the King Shades Radio Twitter page, and for recruiting news, go check out KingShadesMedia.com. All right, Mark, thanks for having me on.
All right, guys, thank you so much.
All right,
it's always a pleasure. You have a great rest of your weekend. I always appreciate the kind words. You are always welcome.
I appreciate you, Mark, man. Much love, man.
Everybody on the chat, we got Florida State coming up at 4 o'clock with James Coleman from Gridiron Now. We will catch you guys later.